breezy here. They're the reigning champion, Markus Schlosser and Marcel Fries in that distinctive Gust Oil yellow Yamaha. From Scotland, Steve Kershaw and Ryan Charwood down there from the south of England on the Quattro Yamaha. Todd Ellis, calm and composed. Runner-up last year. Is it going to be his year in 2022? Benny Stroyer and Kevin Kolsch. Oh, there's a problem on the start already for Schlosser. Hand in the air before the off, and he's having to push off the grid, so his start will be from pit lane. Oh, that's drama. The opening race, the start of the opening race of the 2022 season, and Schlosser is in pit lane. Where they go then? And in the sunshine here in front of a very appreciative crowd and into the lead, Tim Reeves, Kevin Russo on the Bonova Action Yamaha from the word go. Todd Ellis, Emmanuel Clement slotting in behind. That very famous Dunlop Bridge on this iconic track through the chicane and up and over the hill. Winding their way through. Benny Stroyer looking good. Benny Stroyer and Kevin Kolsch on the Adolf RS. Tim Reeves, teammate on the Bonova Action bike. Had a bad injury last year, Benny Stroyer, but he's back to full fitness, and if his qualifying form is anything to go by, he's going to be a force to be reckoned with, and indeed he's having a good look at the back of Todd Ellis and Emmanuel Clement. Ellis, a very focused, quiet young man, composed. His French lady passenger has this lifelong ambition to be a world champion. Is this going to be the year? Out of pit lane then goes the reigning champion, Markus Schlosser, joining the race at least half a lap down. There's the course car. There's the course car. So he has got a massive job ahead of him, but he's got 18 laps to do it in. Ted and Vincent Peugeot on the blue and white number 74 outfit. That boy is 19 years of age, with his father in the chair. Probably the quickest crew from France, and thank goodness we've got a strong French entry here. This Le Mans Bugatti circuit, very popular of course, and a massive crowd to applaud the efforts of the French. Through then on Peugeot goes Kershaw and Charwood. That chicane is going to be a very popular passing place, I think. See Ryan Charwood doing his thing there. Now on the back of Benny Stroyer, the number 29 Quattro Yamaha of Steve Kershaw. Last season, I would have described them as the best of the rest, although they did have victory at Donington Park, if my memory serves me well. But this year, they're sharper, they're looking very, very focused. Not as focused as the race leader, Tim Reeves, Kevin Russo. Look at that freight train. 5 outfits, about the distance of an articulated lorry. Fighting his way through then, here comes Markus Schlosser. He and Marcel Fries looking very, very strong. Underneath Janusz Remzi and Weschelberger. Manfred Weschelberger, the Austrian, and Janusz Remzi, a long-time stalwart of sidecar racing, the Slovenian. Good to see him here. Was a sponsor of Tim Reeves at one point, I remember, when we saw the Remzi racing bike that Reeves raced. Number 9, that is Vinet, Claude and Cyril Vinet, one of the French crews going well. Todd Ellis has not given up, he's on the back. Well, he won't give up, will he? It's a World Championship race, and it's the opening race. In fact, there you can see fighting through Benny Stroyer. So now we've got a 4-man breakaway, 5-man breakaway. Indeed, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just look how close they are. Benny Stroyer then, and Kevin Kolsch looking on the outside of Todd Ellis. That's his teammate ahead. And underneath Ellis they've gone. Have they made it stick? Yes, they have. So up to second goes Benny Stroyer. At the chicane though, Todd Ellis fighting back. They're alongside, neck and neck. Benny Stroyer on the left, Todd Ellis on the right. He's got the line on the inside. He's going to keep it clean, and he's through. Ted Peugeot going well now. Ted Peugeot smells a bit of a podium job here in local company. How good would that be? This battle for third place. Up to third goes Kershaw. What a race to start the 2022 season. Phenomenal action. Kershaw Charlwood. Their main focus for 2022, the World Championship. We might see them at the odd British round. Both championships, of course, organised and promoted this year by Roger Body, who has done such a sterling job with the British Championship, now aiming to bring the World Championship to the same level. Underneath another back marker goes Marcus Schlosser, making up half a lap disadvantage. That is phenomenal, but he's got 18 to do it. That's the number 33 of Paul L'Église and Melanie Farnier, another lady passenger. L'Église has been going very strongly, so that was no mean feat for Schlosser to slide underneath the Frenchman. Todd Ellis, let's keep an eye on Todd Ellis. And Emmanuel Clement shadowing Tim Reeves and Kevin Rousseau. Here they come. There's a good passing place at the end of the start-finish straight before they get to the Dunlop chicane. Right-hander. Here they go. Around the right-hander, then of course up the hill towards the Dunlop chicane. This is Stroyer looking at Kershaw and through at that chicane. So once again up to third, Benny Stroyer, Kevin Kolsch. And pushing hard now behind Kershaw is Ted Peugeot. Still in second place, Todd Ellis. Still leading Tim Reeves. 19-year-old. Incredible, this young man. Ted Peugeot, father in the chair, as I said. Just watch his action. Where's it going to be? Todd Ellis having a look at the inside now. Is he alongside Tim Reeves? Is he past? Our camera not giving us a view of that. No, he's not, is the simple answer. But he's looking very, very hard and trying every which way to get past the 8 times world champion. Tim Reeves on the podium at so many and having lifted so many titles. An evergreen, omnipresent podium contender, Tim Reeves. Changed many passengers over the years, but second season with Kevin Rousseau, and they go well together. Here's Todd Ellis, Emmanuel Clement. It always astonishes me how good these ladies are, and I mean that with the utmost respect. This is a highly physical sport. And 18 laps round here is something like a test of endurance the solos will be putting on over the next 24 hours when that race gets underway at 3 o'clock. Still the convoy, Kershaw dropping off the back a little bit. Ellis still in second place. Surely he's going to bide his time and take a look on Tim Reeves. But Tim Reeves, the most wily competitor out there, without a shadow of a doubt. Are we going to see him in the full championship? I do hope so. Of course, he's got Isle of Man TT duty coming up after the second round, so he will effectively miss round 3 at Spa. Is that going to be enough to deter him from contesting the rest of the series? Well, we certainly hope not, because we need his flavour, and he will be aiming, of course, for Steve Webster's all-time record, and through goes Todd Ellis! Through goes Todd Ellis on Tim Reeves. Reeves fighting back, as you would expect, and using all the track and more. Todd Ellis having to go into the country a bit to keep it on the island, but he hasn't quite kept it on the island. Having another look then, Tim Reeves, Todd Ellis has marginally got the advantage here, but now he's got it and he's kept the place. Looking here for Benny Stroyer, doing a great job. These two fighting. Through goes Reeves again. Oh, he's gone in too hot and wide, nearly given the place to his teammate Stroyer. Stroyer 21. Ted Peugeot now up to third. Peugeot and Vincent Peugeot, his father, up to third. Oh, a spin! Oh, Stroyer cannot miss him. Benny Stroyer in on Ted Peugeot. Oh no, a shake of the head from the Dutchman, former world champion, his father 4 times indeed, 3, I stand corrected, a world champion, Egbert Stroyer back in the day, and now we can see Marcus Schlosser making ground up here because Benny Stroyer is damage limitation. He must have damaged the outfit with that impact on Ted Peugeot. Peugeot then out of the gravel. Are they going to continue? Yeah, okay, says Dad, let's go again. No, that's it. Hand in the air from Benny Stroyer. Hand in the air from Benny Stroyer. Race 1, game over. What a shame for the Dutchman. Oh, shake of the head, body language tells you everything. Meanwhile, on the last lap, Todd Ellis, Emmanuel Clement now with a visible lead. This is going to be a brilliant debut victory for them in the 2022 season. The Kobelco bike looking resplendent in the sunshine, as indeed is their riding style. Down towards the chicane for the final time. Through they go, fist in the air from the people on pit wall, the supporters, the teams, everyone helping these guys to what has been an incredible start to their season. But what a brilliant result for Schlosser from the back of the grid. Phenomenal, he's on the podium. Victory then for Todd Ellis and Emmanuel Clement. A wave from Tim and Kevin. Thumbs in the air, good race, good clean race. And Schlosser, hats off to you, sir. Confirmation then, Ellis, Clement, Reeves, Schlosser, that's your podium. Kershaw, what a brave fight from them. 5 seconds off in 18 laps, not too shabby. They split away from the rest of the field. Lucas Wiesen, Thomas Hoffer, from L'Église and Farney, Aviné, Kevin Cable, Chaz Richardson, 8th, what a great result. There, Galin Pierrat. Ramsey got some points, 2 laps of trip. The boys up there, Tim Reeves, happy with that one, that's great. Runners up, but they know they're running at the pace. Well, in the sunshine here, the crowd had a second race coming up. Schlosser this time made no mistake. He was there on his front row qualifying position, and what could he do? Well, third place in the first race was an absolutely amazing result. When the lights went out, the packed grandstand applauded the sidecars as they headed in to the first turn, and then of course the Dunlop chicane awaited them. Schlosser did not get the best of starts, but it was Tim Reeves, another one of his fantastically quick starts, who got the drop ahead of Todd Ellis and Emmanuel Clement. Ellis fought back and briefly slotted into the lead. It looked as though it was going to be deja vu here. Lucas Wiesen, Thomas Hoffer got a great start ahead of Steve Kershaw and Ryan Charlwood, and this young Swiss was looking very good here at the opening round. Such an amiable, likeable bloke, sponsored by Gus Stoyle, so effectively a teammate, if you like, in terms of sponsorship to his fellow countryman Marcus Schlosser. But Kershaw and Charlwood moved out of the slipstream and past the young Swiss. Nonetheless, they kept at it, those boys, and it was a great race. Kershaw was on his way, but mixing with Wiesen and Hoffer has let the top 3 get away, in actual fact. And Kershaw then had to play a little bit of catch-up. At the front, meanwhile, the battle between Reeves and Ellis was going so strongly. Reeves assumed control again, Ellis having briefly led for a lap and a half, but then Tim Reeves and Kevin Rousseau were back in front, desperate to make amends for a runner-up spot in the opening race. 25 points already in the bag for Todd Ellis and Emmanuel Clement, 20 points in the bag for Tim Reeves and Kevin Rousseau. Schlosser, having earned 16 in the opening race, would be desperate to get victory here. Would that even be possible? He was not in the hunt at the moment, but there was a fantastic scrap going on between Stroyer, Wiesen, L'Église was in there, Peugeot was in 8th, and so further down the order there was a huge scrap. The front 4 had got away, but this was very entertaining, and Peugeot, desperate to make amends for his first race spin, is doing a good job here. Unfortunately, there was no damage. There was a bit of contact there, as you could see. Peugeot capitalising, and Peugeot went through on Wiesen as well. So Peugeot having another strong ride in this one. And here, at the front, you can see how Marcus Schlosser made his way through. Past Todd Ellis, up to second. Now he was in the hunt, and at this point in the race he was closing down the 8 times world champion. Meanwhile, with Peugeot still there in 5th off the back, doing a terrific job. Kevin Cable, Charlie Richardson retired into the pits, sadly. 8th place in race 1, but weren't able to do anything about it. Kevin Kolsch desperately disappointed, having to put his hand up again for the 2nd time. He and Benny Stroyer were out of the race. At the front though, 2 world champions at it, hammer and tongs, and behind them a young man who aspires to be world champion, just having to watch them at it. Marcus Schlosser moved out of the slipstream of Tim Reeves and claimed the place in impeccable style, closing the door on the way out. Reeves went round the outside, and this battle raged for 2 or 3 laps, with Schlosser, as you will see, getting the eventual verdict. Marcus Schlosser and Marcel Fries, having been racing for such a long time, have come into their own in the 2021 season. Schlosser once again moved ahead on that long straight, with Reeves fighting back. Just so entertaining. And through went Todd Ellis as well, up to the Dunlop Bridge. Schlosser then, these 3 bashed fairings and vied for space on the track throughout the 18-lapper, or certainly the second half of the race, when all 3 of them were trying to share the same piece of time. Once again, Marcus Schlosser moved through. The sun beating down in Le Mans. It was the most glorious weekend. Steve Kershaw and Ryan Charlwood always there, carrying a watching brief. Todd Ellis sitting in the wheel tracks, knowing full well that with 25 points in the bag he needed a strong finish in this race to consolidate his championship position. Would it be the championship lead? That is my question, because in the position he was in at this moment, he would not be in the championship lead. Harry Payne and Mark Wilkes, having put their bike together after that massive crash, were running very strongly. They were moving up through the field from the back of the grid and were eventually to finish in 8th place, which was a phenomenal performance on a 20-year-old borrowed RCN machine. Hopefully they would get their own bike back together in time for the next round in Assen. But Marcus Schlosser and Marcel Fries just did a great job in race 2, and they took the checkered flag. It was victory for them and 25 points, turning what could have been a disastrous weekend into an okay result. Thank you very much. Tim Reeves slipped down to 3rd. Ellis managed to salvage a 2nd place from that, and beaten by a better man, I have to say, on the day. Kershaw and Peugeot, what a great ride for Ted Peugeot. He was there. Leglise, Wiesen, Payne and Wilkes, hats off to those boys. Vinay Lebel, thank goodness for the French. They were strong here in Le Mans, and why wouldn't they?